The next ones, these ones they say they're advanced because now they're going to throw coefficients in front of the x squareds and the y squareds. So again, I'm going to start by putting my x's together, my y's together, and my number over on the other side. So 4x squared plus 32x plus 4y squared minus 24y going to equal negative 91. Now, some books do this differently, but I would just go ahead and divide by my coefficient of 4 first, because you're going to have to get rid of it eventually anyway. So I'm just going to divide everything by 4. So here I'm going to get x squared plus 8x plus y squared minus 6y, and I'm just going to leave that as negative 91 fourths, because I don't think I can reduce it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and complete my square. So half of 8 is 4, 4 squared is 16. So I'm going to add 16 here and add 16 here. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is positive 9, so I'm going to add 9 there. So I'm going to get x plus 4 squared here. I'm going to get y minus 3 squared there. And then I got to do my adding and subtracting. I'd probably just grab my calculator, otherwise you got to make your common denominator 4. So if I do negative 91 fourths plus my 16 plus my 9, and I'm going to change it to an improper fraction, I'm going to end up with 9 fourths. So my center on this one is going to be at negative 4, positive 3. My radius is going to be the square root of 9 fourths. Well, the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 4 is 2. 3 over 2 is 1.5, or 1.5. So my center, negative 4, 3. So negative 4, positive 3. Then I'm going to move over 1.5 all the way around my dot, and my circle would look something sort of like that. Now if you do end up with something that doesn't come out to be a perfect square, then there's a mistake somewhere in there, because all of these should come out so that you can take the square root of them. Otherwise it'd be pretty hard to graph. So number 8, we've got 2x squared minus 16x plus 2y squared minus 8y, and then I'm going to move my 32 to the other side, so minus 32. And so in this case, I would want to divide everything by 2. They're not going to give you anything that doesn't have the same coefficient in front of your x squared and your y squared, so they all should work out nice. I'm going to divide everything by 2, so I get x squared minus 8x plus y squared minus 4y equals negative 16 then. So if we complete our square on the first one, we would add 16, and on our y's we would add 4. So our equation in standard form would be you guys are making Gavin do all the work today. They're still sleeping. X minus 4 squared plus
y minus 2 squared.
Y minus 2 squared equals 4. So my center would be at positive 4 and positive 2. My radius would be the square root of 4, which is 2. So 4, 2 with the radius of 2. And number 9. See, they already throw a crazy fraction in there. So again, I have 2x squared minus 18x plus 2y squared plus 12y equals a negative 101 over 2. So when I divide everything by 2, I would get x squared minus 9x plus y squared plus 6y. And when you take a negative 101 over 2 divided by 2, it's like multiplying by a half, right? So you get negative 101 over 4. Right? Multiplying, or dividing by 2 is multiplying by a half, so I just end up multiplying my denominator by 2. So negative 101 over 4. And so when we complete the square, on the first one we're going to add, oh, we get to add a lovely fraction. You took half of this, right? Which would be negative 9 over 2, and then you square them. So if you square them, you're going to get 81 over 4 if I use my improper fraction, which I'm going to do. On the other one, we're going to add 9, which I could write as 36 over 4, since everything else is over 4. So if I do my adding and subtracting there, I get 16 fourths, right? Which is just 4. So I'm going to have x minus 9 halves squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 4. 16 fourths or 4. So my center is going to be at 9 halves or 4 halves, 4 and a half I should say, 4.5 and negative 3. My radius is going to be 2. So 4.5 and negative 3, 1, 2, 3, and then my radius is 2. So it looks something sort of like that. So occasionally they'll throw in some fraction ones just because they know you like to work with fractions.